All right, ready to dive into something pretty amazing.
Always.
Okay, so we're talking about the creation of human life,
Mm-hmm.
and not in some, like, far-off galaxy,
Right.
but right here,
Yeah.
right now, inside us. Pregnancy. And in this deep dive, we're going to uncover the science and all the surprising facts of this journey that's 40 weeks to life. This book is packed with insights that are going to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about this whole process of pregnancy.
It's incredible to think about how much our understanding of pregnancy has evolved.
I know, right?
For centuries, it was all folklore and misconceptions.
Misconceptions, yeah.
Some people,
What did they think?
they actually believe that babies were fully formed humans, like
Oh my God.
just hanging out in sperm,
Wow.
waiting to be planted.
That's what. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Talk about a misunderstanding of scale. But I mean, it's amazing how far we've come in terms of like scientific understanding, but there's still so much we don't know. It's like this biological black box.
It is, yeah.
Where like a single fertilized egg somehow.
It's mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling, yeah.
Transforms into a complex.
Into a whole human.
Human being.
It's wild.
It really is. Take fetal cell migration, for instance.
Okay.
Did you know that cells from the fetus can actually migrate into the mother's body?
Oh, wow.
And stay there.
Really?
Potentially for decades.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a bit like a long-term house guest, except on a cellular level.
Okay, that is both fascinating and slightly unsettling.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Tell me more. How does that even work?
Well, we're still, uncovering the intricacies of this whole process, but we know that these fetal cells can travel to various parts of the mother's body, including her heart, lungs, even her brain.
Oh, wow.
They can integrate into these tissues and become a part of her.
So parts of the baby literally become a part of the mother.
Yeah.
That's wild. Does this have any lasting impact on the mother's health?
That's one of the big questions that researchers are exploring.
Yeah.
Some studies suggest these cells could have a role in tissue repair and immune regulation, while others are investigating potential links to autoimmune diseases.
Okay.
It's a complex and fascinating area of research with a lot we still don't understand.
Right. It really highlights, I think, the interconnectedness between a mother and her developing child.
Yeah.
And speaking of interconnectedness, the book talks about this concept of a generational loop.
Yes.
And I have to say that was absolutely mind-blowing.
I know. It's the generational loop.
Yeah.
Recurs to the idea that a woman's experiences during pregnancy, like her diet, her stress levels, environmental exposures, can actually impact the genetic programming of not just her child, and also her grandchildren.
Wow.
And potentially even future generations.
So, like, the environment my grandmother experienced while pregnant with my mother could have influenced my own genes.
Potentially.
That's incredible.
It is.
It adds like a whole other layer of responsibility to the whole pregnancy experience, I think. Okay, so we've talked about the mysteries, the cellular surprises, but this book also dives into the physiological changes that happen during pregnancy, and I have to say, some of them sound like straight up superpowers.
It's true. The human body undergoes remarkable transformations during pregnancy.
Yeah.
Blood volume increases dramatically. The heart grows larger and stronger to pump that extra blood. And senses like smell and taste often become heightened.
Heightened senses. So pregnant women are basically superhuman smell detectives.
That's one way to put it, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's thought to be an evolutionary adaptation to help protect the developing fetus from potential toxins.
Right. And ensure proper nutrition. But of course, with great power comes, well, maybe not great responsibility in this case, but definitely some challenging side effects.
That's right. So it's not all, glowing skin and heightened senses, right?
It's not always glamorous.
This book doesn't shy away from the kind of less glamorous aspects of pregnancy.
Yeah. Because
not all sunshine and roses.
No. Morning sickness, for example, can be incredibly debilitating for some women. And, let's not forget the physical demands of carrying around all that extra weight.
Yeah. Well,
and the hormonal roller coaster that comes with pregnancy.
Right. That's a whole other thing.
It's a testament to the strength and resilience of the human body.
It really is. It's like the ultimate endurance test.
Yeah. it is.
But, even with the challenges, there's something undeniably fascinating about this whole process.
It is.
It's like nature's ultimate magic trick. It is a remarkable feat of biology.
Yeah.
And while science has uncovered so much, there are still so many mysteries surrounding pregnancy.
Speaking of mysteries, let's talk about some of the surprising facts revealed in this book.
Sure.
I was floored by the fact that babies actually poop in the room.
It's true.
Who knew?
It's called meconium.
Okay.
And it's a sterile substance that's usually passed after birth.
Okay.
However, if it's released into the amniotic fluid before birth, it can sometimes lead to complications.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Definitely not something I ever learned in school. And speaking of things they don't teach you in school, the book also refers to the fetus as a parasite. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but...
I know. It's it's a provocative way of framing the relationship, but there's a fascinating truth to it.
Okay.
The fetus does, in a sense, rely entirely on the mother for survival.
Right.
Drawing nutrients and oxygen from her bloodstream, and even influencing her immune system to prevent rejection.
It's like this incredible dance between two organisms.
It is.
Each with their own needs and priorities.
Right.
It makes you wonder, how does the body even begin to adapt to such a dramatic shift?
Well, that's where things get even more fascinating.
Okay.
Let's talk about the hormonal symphony that orchestrates this entire process. Because from the very moment of conception, the body starts undergoing a series of hormonal changes that are nothing short of amazing.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's hear about these hormonal conductors.
All right. So the start of the show is a hormone called human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG.
Okay.
It's the hormone that's detected in pregnancy tests.
Ah, the infamous HCG. So what exactly does this hormone do? Does it just signal that you're pregnant, or is there more to it?
Oh, it does so much more than that. HCG is like the master conductor, sending signals to the ovaries to stop releasing eggs and prompting the corpus luteum to produce progesterone.
Wait, back up a second. What's the corpus luteum again? Remind me.
Sure. So it's the structure that forms in the ovary after an egg is released.
Okay.
And progesterone, the hormone it produces, is absolutely vital for maintaining a pregnancy.
Got it. So HCG tells the corpus luteum to keep pumping out progesterone, and progesterone is what helps keep the pregnancy going.
That's right.
Makes sense. What else is going on in this hormonal orchestra?
Well, as the placenta develops, it takes over progesterone production and also starts releasing other hormones like estrogen, which helps prepare the breasts for breastfeeding and stimulates the growth of the uterus.
So it's like a relay race of hormones, each playing its part at the right time to ensure a healthy pregnancy. That's incredible.
It really is a symphony of biological processes, perfectly timed and intricately coordinated. And we're still learning about all the nuances of this hormonal dance.
This is already so much more than I ever imagined. It's like a whole new world of knowledge is opening up.
I know.
Before we move on, I just have to ask. We've talked about the parasitic nature of pregnancy, but there has to be a flip side to that, right? Isn't there something beneficial about having another human literally growing inside of you?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
While the parasitic aspect might sound a bit jarring, it's crucial to remember that this relationship is also deeply symbiotic. Both mother and fetus benefit from this intricate interplay.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these benefits. What does the mother gain from this relationship?
Well, for one thing, pregnancy can actually trigger a sort of reset in the mother's immune system.
Really?
We tend to think of pregnancy as a time of increased vulnerability.
Yeah.
But in some ways, it can actually strengthen certain aspects of the immune response.
Really? How so?
Well, the mother's immune system has to adapt to tolerate the presence of the fetus, which is essentially a foreign entity with different DNA.
Right.
This adaptation process can have lasting benefits, potentially reducing the risk of certain autoimmune diseases later in life.
Wow. I never would have guessed that pregnancy could have such a, profound impact on the immune system. Are there any other benefits?
Absolutely. Pregnancy can also trigger cellular changes.
Oh, wow.
That promote tissue repair and regeneration. It's like a period of accelerated healing for the mother's body.
That's amazing.
The studies even suggest that pregnancy could have a protective effect against certain types of cancer.
This is amazing. It sounds like pregnancy isn't just about creating a new life. It's also about revitalizing the mother's body in some pretty remarkable ways.
Exactly. It's a transformative experience on multiple levels.
Right.
Both for the mother and the developing child. And it's a testament to the incredible power and adaptability of the human body.
All right. So we've explored the science, the cellular surprises, the hormonal symphony, and even the unexpected benefits of pregnancy.
Yeah.
But there's one aspect we haven't touched on yet that I find particularly intriguing.
Okay.
The weird and wonderful, the bizarre but true
I love it.
facts about pregnancy. You ready to dive into that?
Always ready for a dose of the unexpected.
Okay, prepare to be amazed. Did you know that some babies are born with teeth?
Really?
Like actual teeth.
Oh, wow.
Already erupted in the womb.
It's true. It's rare.
Wow.
But it does happen.
That's wild.
Those tiny teeth usually fall out shortly after birth, making way for the permanent set.
Imagine being born with teeth, though.
I know. What a surprise.
What a surprise.
For the parents.
Right. Talk about starting life with a bite. And get this. Pregnant women can sometimes produce milk before they even give birth.
I've heard of that.
And even wilder, sometimes women who aren't even pregnant can start lactating.
That's due to fluctuations in hormones, particularly prolactin, which is responsible for milk production. It's a reminder that the human body is a complex and sometimes unpredictable system.
No kidding. These facts just make me even more curious about all the things we still don't know about pregnancy.
Right.
There's so much more to explore. But for now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something a little more practical.
Okay.
What about the people in our lives who are currently pregnant? How can we best support them?
That's a great question.
During this wild ride.
The book offers some excellent advice on this.
Okay.
It encourages people to move beyond the cliches and focus on offering tangible support.
So what does that look like?
Well, instead of saying you're glowing when they might be feeling exhausted and nauseous, ask how they're really doing.
Yeah.
And offer to help with practical things like errands, childcare.
Yeah, those are good.
Or even just a listening ear.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes the simplest gestures can make the biggest difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, before we wrap up part 1 of our deep dive, there's one more thing I want to touch on. And this might seem like a bit of a leap.
Okay.
But stick with me.
Okay.
We've been talking about the science of pregnancy, the biological processes.
Right.
But what about the emotional and psychological experience?
That's huge. That's a whole other
layer of complexity.
Isn't it?
Absolutely. Pregnancy is a profound psychological journey, as well as a physical one. It can bring up a whole range of emotions.
Absolutely.
From joy and excitement to anxiety and fear.
Yeah.
It's a time of immense change and transition.
Yeah.
Both physically and emotionally.
It makes you realize that pregnancy isn't just about the baby.
Right.
It's also about the woman's own transformation.
Exactly. As she becomes a mother, what are some of the common emotional challenges that women face during pregnancy?
For many women, it's a time of heightened vulnerability and emotional sensitivity. Hormonal fluctuations can play a role in this.
Right.
But there are also so many psychological adjustments happening.
Right.
Concerns about the health of the baby.
Of course.
Anxieties about labor and delivery and even changes in body image can all contribute to emotional ups and downs.
That makes perfect sense. It's such a massive life change.
It is.
And then there's the whole question of identity. How does becoming a mother impact a woman's sense of self?
That's a question that many women grapple with during pregnancy and motherhood.
Right.
It's a time of redefining roles and priorities. For some, it can feel like a natural and seamless transition, while for others, it can be a time of questioning and uncertainty as they navigate their new identity as a mother.
It's like this delicate balance between holding on to your own sense of self while embracing this new role and responsibility.
Exactly.
It's fascinating to think about all the layers of complexity involved in this experience.
It really is. And it's important to remember that there's no right or wrong way to feel during pregnancy.
Absolutely.
Every woman's experience is unique and valid.
Absolutely. And on that note of embracing the uniqueness of each pregnancy journey, I think it's a good place to pause for now.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, from cellular surprises to hormonal symphonies to the emotional roller coaster of pregnancy.
It's been a fascinating exploration so far.
Yeah.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Exactly. There's so much more to uncover in part 2. Stay tuned.
Picking up where we left off, it's incredible how pregnancy isn't just this physical transformation,
right,
but also a really profound psychological and emotional journey.
Totally. We've been talking about, the wild science and the amazing facts, but, it's important to acknowledge that for a lot of women, pregnancy can be a time of, intense emotions and anxieties and even like a bit of an identity crisis.
Absolutely. Becoming a mother is a major life transition, and it's natural to experience a range of emotions as you adjust to this new role.
Yeah.
The book actually talks about how some cultures have specific rituals and practices designed to help women navigate these emotional shifts during pregnancy.
That's so interesting. It makes sense that different cultures would have different ways of supporting women through this transition. What kind of rituals are we talking about?
Well, in some cultures, there are specific dietary guidelines and restrictions believed to promote the health of both mother and baby. There might also be rituals involving massage, special baths.
Interesting.
Or even chanting and singing designed to create a sense of peace and well-being for the expectant mother.
It sounds like these rituals are all about acknowledging the importance of both the physical and emotional aspects of pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's a holistic approach, which I really appreciate.
Exactly. And it highlights the fact that pregnancy isn't just about the individual woman. It's also about the community.
Right.
And the support system that surrounds her.
I love that perspective. It takes a village, as they say.
Oh.
Okay, so we've talked about the emotional and cultural aspects of pregnancy, but this book also dives into some of the ethical considerations that are sort of emerging as our understanding of pregnancy advances. And I have to say, this is where things start to get really thought-provoking.
It's true. As science progresses, we're faced with new possibilities and new dilemmas.
Right.
For example, prenatal genetic testing is becoming increasingly sophisticated, allowing us to detect certain genetic conditions in the fetus.
And while that knowledge can be empowering, it also raises some tough questions.
Definitely.
What do you do with that information?
Right.
How do you make decisions about a pregnancy based on genetic testing results?
Exactly. It's a complex ethical landscape with no easy answers.
Right.
And as technology continues to evolve, we can expect even more challenging questions to arise.
Right.
The book even touches on the concept of artificial wombs and designer babies.
Wow.
Which are still in the realm of science fiction.
Yeah.
But might not be so far-fetched in the future.
Whoa, artificial wombs and designer babies? That's straight out of a sci-fi movie. It makes you wonder, what will the future of pregnancy look like? Will technology completely reshape our understanding?
It's a question we need to consider of reproduction.
It's mind-boggling to think about how far we've come in our understanding of pregnancy.
I know, right?
And yet there's still so much we don't know.
So much we don't know.
And with every new discovery comes a whole new set of questions and challenges.
It's a constant evolution. And that's what makes this topic so fascinating. Pregnancy is this incredible intersection of biology, psychology, culture, and ethics.
It really is.
It's a reminder of the complexity and the beauty of life itself.
Well said. Okay, I have to confess, there's one question that's been nagging at me throughout this whole deep dive.
Okay.
We've talked about the fetus as a parasite, the symbiotic relationship between mother and child, the hormonal changes, the emotional roller coaster. But what about the dad? Where does the father fit into all of this?
That's a great question. And it's one that often gets overlooked in discussions about pregnancy. While the physical and biological changes are happening within the mother's body, the father's role is equally important.
I agree.
Pregnancy is a shared experience. And the father's emotional support, practical help, and involvement can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. It's a team effort, even if only one person is physically carrying the baby.
Right.
The book actually talks about how a father's involvement during pregnancy can have a positive impact on the mother's well-being.
Totally.
And even on the baby's development.
Exactly. Studies have shown that fathers who are actively involved during pregnancy tend to have partners who experience less stress and anxiety.
That makes sense.
And their involvement can continue to benefit the child even after birth, contributing to stronger parent-child bonds and better developmental outcomes.
It makes you realize that pregnancy isn't just about the mother and child.
Yeah.
It's about the family as a whole.
The whole unit.
Yeah, it's about creating this new dynamic.
Exactly.
And navigating all the changes that come with it.
It's a beautiful and messy process.
Yeah, it is.
And I think the key is communication, empathy, and a willingness to support each other through the ups and downs.
I love that. Communication, empathy, support.
Yeah.
Those are the pillars of any healthy relationship, but they become even more crucial during pregnancy and parenthood.
Absolutely. It's about working together as a team to navigate this incredible journey.
Yeah.
And that's where the real strength lies.
Okay, so we've talked about the science, the emotions, the ethics, the importance of the father's role.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, is there anything in this book that surprised you?
You know, what surprised me most wasn't a specific fact or piece of research.
Okay.
But rather the book's overall approach to pregnancy.
Okay.
It doesn't shy away from the complex and sometimes contradictory aspects of this experience. It acknowledges the challenges, the uncertainties, and even the occasional weirdness, while also celebrating the incredible power and resilience of the human body.
I totally agree. It's refreshing to see a book that embraces, like, the full spectrum of pregnancy, not just, kind of, the idealized version we often see portrayed in media.
It's a more honest and relatable portrayal.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that many people will find valuable.
So where do we go from here? We've covered a lot of ground.
Right.
But I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this vast and fascinating topic.
It's true. There's always more to learn and discover about pregnancy.
Right.
And I think this book serves as a great starting point for anyone who wants to delve deeper into this incredible journey.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, what does the future hold for our understanding of pregnancy? Will we unlock all the mysteries of this, like, biological black box?
Right.
Will technology reshape the way we think about reproduction?
It's an exciting and uncertain time.
It is.
But one thing's for sure. The journey of pregnancy, both literally and metaphorically, will continue to fascinate and inspire us for generations to come.
And on that note of endless fascination, I think it's a good place to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive.
Okay.
We've explored some pretty deep waters today.
We have.
And I'm sure you're ready for a break.
I couldn't agree more. But before we sign off, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that is pregnancy. It's a testament to the power of nature, the resilience of the human body, and the profound connection between a mother and her child.
Beautifully said. And I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear what other insights and revelations await us in part 3. So until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep marveling at the wonders of life.
Welcome back to our deep dive into 40 Weeks to Life. We've explored the science, the emotions, the ethics, and the cultural perspectives surrounding pregnancy.
Right.
But I think it's time to kind of bring it all together.
I agree. We've covered a lot of ground. We have.
But what does it all mean?
Right.
What are the key takeaways from this deep dive into the world of pregnancy?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
For me, one of the biggest takeaways is just, like, how complex and multifaceted pregnancy really is. It's not just about a baby growing in a woman's belly. It's
so much more.
It's so much more, intricate dance of, like, biology and psychology.
It's social dynamics.
And social dynamics,
It's a process that's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Both in terms of our scientific understanding and in terms of the social and cultural context surrounding pregnancy.
Yeah. Think about how much our understanding of pregnancy has changed even in the last few decades.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
We're constantly learning new things.
Yeah.
And with those new discoveries come new questions.
Totally.
And new challenges.
It's a reminder that there's always more to learn.
Right.
And that our knowledge is always
absolutely
evolving.
It is.
And that's what makes this topic so fascinating.
Yeah, definitely.
Pregnancy is like a window into the very essence of life.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that will continue to challenge and inspire us.
Absolutely.
For generations to come.
I agree.
Speaking of inspiration, I have to say, reading this book
Mm-hmm.
has given me like a newfound appreciation for the strength and resilience of the human body.
I know. It's amazing.
I mean,
just think about it.
Yeah.
To grow an entire human being from a single cell
it's mind-boggling.
Is nothing short of miraculous.
It's incredible.
It's a testament to the power of nature and the incredible adaptability of the human body.
And it's a reminder that we're all like connected.
It is.
That each of us began as a tiny cluster of cells dependent on another human for survival.
It's a profound thought.
It's a beautiful thought. And it makes you realize that pregnancy isn't just about, the individual woman. Right. It's about the interconnectedness of all living things.
Absolutely. It's about the continuity of life, the passing on of genetic information from one generation to the next.
Yeah.
And it's about the profound responsibility.
Right.
We have to care for ourselves, each other, and the planet we inhabit.
Well said. Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to come back to the book's closing message. It leaves us with a very thought-provoking question. What does the future hold for our understanding of pregnancy? Will we see the rise of artificial wombs? Will we be able to design babies?
It's a big question.
With specific traits?
Those are some pretty big questions.
They are.
And the answers are far from clear.
Right.
But I think it's important to be having these conversations, to be thinking critically about the ethical implications of these emerging technologies.
Absolutely. As our scientific capabilities advance, we need to ensure that our ethical considerations keep pace. It's not just about what we can do, but what we should do.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think this book serves as a powerful reminder that pregnancy isn't just a scientific process. It's a deeply personal and profound human experience.
Totally.
And it's an experience that deserves to be approached with respect, empathy, and a healthy dose of wonder.
I couldn't agree more. So, as we conclude our deep dive into 40 Weeks to Life, I hope you're walking away with a renewed sense of awe for the miracle of life. And a deeper understanding of the complex and fascinating journey that is pregnancy.
It's been a privilege to explore this topic with you, and I hope our listeners have found this deep dive informative and thought-provoking.
And who knows, maybe this deep dive has sparked a curiosity in you to learn even more about pregnancy, to delve into the science, the stories, the mysteries that surround this incredible process.
Because ultimately, understanding pregnancy is about understanding ourselves, our origins, and our connection to the generations that came before us and the generations that will follow.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the wonders of 40 Weeks to Life. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.